it's Miss Katie. I know that making this video for those of you who didn't get to come to the Birdcraft, and also for those of you who maybe had to leave early and didn't get to finish, or maybe I know this was a more involved craft, and I'm sorry because I didn't realize how long it would take. So our future crafts will be a little less time consuming. So I am sorry because parts I think may have been rushed through by me. So I just wanted to go back over the parts in case anybody wanted to go back and or there are parts that you struggled with. Um, that's totally normal. It's a challenging craft and I'm really proud of you all for persevering with it. And just remember that the way that I do it doesn't have to be the way you do it. You figuring out, it's all about trying something and then having it not work. I mean, all I do with crafts is try stuff and have it not work and then keep trying, and then I might find something that works for me, but that might not be the same thing that works for you. And you discovering what works for you is the most awesome part of crafting. And so just keep that in mind as we go. If you find that the way I do it doesn't work for you and you find a different way, that is amazing, and I would love to hear about it some of our next time too. So, and that's part of the fun of crafting is sharing the different ways you can do the same craft or do crafts a little bit differently. Everybody does it a little differently and adds their own creativity and magic to it. So, and you all do that every time, and I'm always really grateful that you share your crafts. So, I'm going to go over the instructions again. Um, so, and you can always, if there's a specific part you're looking for, you can always skip forward to that, of course. So the first thing you'll need from your bag is your three um, little bundles of yarn. And they're all tied in the middle. There should be one that's longer than the others. For me, that's this blue one, and these two shorter ones. So the first thing we're going to do is there should be a little string in the middle that's holding it together, and you just want to cut off that string so it's on the long one so that it's no longer tied together. And if you lose a couple little strings on the way, it's not a big deal. So then you have your long strings untied, and then you choose one of the smaller packets of string to do the same with. So I'm going to do it with this purple one and kind of brush it through, comb it, and there we go. And then the other one you do want to leave tied. So you have two untied and one tied. And again, if you find I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video and then continue on. Take your time. So the next part is we're going to take our long untied yarns and we're going to put it over the other untied yarn over top in like a cross shape or like a lowercase t, like this. And then after that, you want to take your, you want to fold the longer yarn in half. So you may have to pick this one up a little bit and sort of bring this part over. So it's sort of, actually it might be easier to start with the shorter one on top. So then you could just fold over like this instead of what I did. So see, I make mistakes all the time with these crafts. It's a part of the process, and then that's how we learn. And it's a wonderful thing, not a bad thing. So we cross it over like that, and then once you cross it over, you want to tie it about right here, right close to where the yarns are here. So you should have a little plastic baggie that has some strings and other stuff in it, and you find a string that is the same color as the long yarn, and you can use that to tie it off. So so you can double knot it as well, so it'll stay in place. So it should look something like that. And then like if you hold it like this, it kind of looks like a person with pigtails. Olivia said during the program that it looks like a jellyfish with pigtails, which I think is delightful. And so our next thing we're going to do is, if you've ever made a side ponytail, you kind of know how this works. So imagine this is the hair and you want to make it into a side ponytail. So you take one side of the hair and you pull it over top to meet the other side here, and then you want to just tie it right here. So it goes over the top there, and then you tie it right near the head, just like a side ponytail. And there should be another string in your little bag here that matches that string, in my case the purple string, and then you want to tie it again close to the head, just like a ponytail. So now it's a jellyfish with a side ponytail that will soon become a bird. Voila. So something like that. And then our next step is you should have a piece of a tissue paper in your bag. You want to scrunch that up in your hand so it's pretty small, like a little ball. Oop, didn't mean to throw it. And you want to take your, then take your other yarn that is still tied in the middle. And you want to hold these yarns like this, so like the sort of the more rounded part is facing the bottom, and the flatter part is on top here. And then you want you lay your tied yarn over top like this, like a cross again, that shape. And you kind of have where it's tied sort of be in the middle. And then you top it with your beautiful little tissue paper. And then you can bring in, I find it easiest to bring in these sides first and kind of hold it like a ponytail over top of the little tissue paper ball. And then you can do the same with the other side. And just hold them all like a little ponytail in your hand. And I'll show you that again. So you put your little ball on top, and then over, you want to kind of do the ponytail like on top of the ball, so the ball's sort of in there, but you're kind of holding it, cinching it right above there. And then you just pull these up and do that the same way. And like that. And you should have a rubber band as well in your little plastic baggie. And you can use the rubber band to tie it where you're holding it. So you just go around. And if you've already made the craft too, but you want to do it again, or do it a different way, you can always use this video for reference too. So that way you have it. And so you tie it off like that. You might have little pieces sticking out like that. You could either leave them or you could cut them off. Whatever you like. I'm going to cut this piece off on mine. And you can either leave the tail long like this, or you could cut it shorter. It's up to you. But the top of the bird's head is going to be the long yarn should be on top. So that's my blue. And this is kind of where the bird's face is going to be. But before we make the face, we're going to situate our swing and our bird's feet, because then it'll be easier for us to glue on the face stuff and let it dry and let it sit. So the feet, this part might be the trickiest part. You should have a couple really long pieces, longer than these, of pipe cleaner in your bag. And I think I gave too much pipe cleaner, so you may need to. I think you only need one of the ones I gave you, and you just cut it in half, and that should be about the length that you'll need, the two pieces. So you probably have a piece that's like this long, and then if you cut it in half, you should have a good length. for the 2 feet. Next, you're going to, there's a couple ways you can do this. And people came up with even more ways too when we were doing the craft. So if you want to do it a different way, if you want to just glue on little paper feet, that is fine. You can do it however you want. But I found that the way that worked for me was just like, if you pinch like a couple of the pieces of like yarn here and sort of weave it through like this, and then just bend it over so it stays in place on the bottom of the bird, then that will attach it. And then I'll do the same on sort of the other side, the bottom of the bird. You just like take just like 1 or 2 pieces of yarn from the bottom of the bird and see if you can kind of weave this underneath just like that, and then just bend it so it will stay in place. So, and you could twist it too a little bit if you need to. I usually do that by squeezing it with my hand and then turning my hand like this to twist. So if you're trying to twist the pipe cleaner, you start with just pinching it with your fingers and then rotate your fans forward, and that will twist it. So, voila, we have feet. So you also have some little beads. If you want to, you can use those for the bottom of the feet, which is what I did. So you put, you just thread it on like that, and then again you leave a little bit on the end here, so you can fold it. I'll show you. Fold it over the one side of the bead like that, just so the bead stays in place. So, and that's it. And then you do the same with the other foot. But again, if you have a different idea, or if this way isn't working for you, like there's a million different ways you can do the feet. This is just the way that I did it. So, and I would love to hear different ways that you all came up with, if you think of something else, because that's the beauty of crafts, is getting to share those ideas. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use these feet to attach our bird to our swing. Now you should have in your little baggie a piece of sticky back felt that's like a strip, and yours should be the same color as your swing here. So really mine would be yellow, but I don't have any yellow left. So I'm going to use this white piece, and also it'll be easier for you to see when I'm doing it. But you should have one that's the same color as your swing. You should actually have 2 in case you need it. But we'll start with 1 and see how that goes. So how I did it was I sat the bird on the swing, and then I kind of had it stretch its little leggies forward, and I just you kind of just try to lay them as flat as you can there, and then you take the sticky piece of paper off the sticky back, and so you have it all sticky, and you just right above where the beads are, if you have the beads on there, just lay it right over the legs, and then you can kind of pat it down so it stays in like this. So it's holding those feet down, and I'll show you that more close up, just right across the swing. And if you don't want it to be, yours won't be as visible because it will blend in with the swing. And if you want, you could bend your feet up more toward the bird, so it will be even more less visible to see the little strip. And that held mine on the swing okay, but if you find that doesn't work for you, you can also use take some of the strings on the bottom, like just a few, of the tail, and do the same thing. You take the maybe like this many strings here on the bottom of the tail, hold them down, and then just put the sticky piece across them to hold it down in the back. But you can also, if you find this doesn't work for you, you can also have a parent help you just hot glue your bird on. You can probably tie it on. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, or you don't even have to attach your bird. You can just like let it hang on, like be on the swing, but then you could also remove it. If you want to let it, give the option for you to remove it, you could do it like that too. So our next step is going to be putting on the face. So you should have a little beak like this in your little plastic bag and some little eyes that look something like this. The eyes are stickers, but I recommend using the tacky glue to attach both the beak and the eyes because it doesn't stick that well. So the tacky glue is going to have a little cap that you take off, and then you want to snip the top because it's with some scissors, and then the glue will be able to come out. So once you get your glue, you can put some on the a glop of it on the inside part of the cone that is the beak. And I found the easiest way to put on the beak is to sort of try to get in between. This is where on the face here, sort of try to sneak it sort of in between the yarns. So I'm going to try to put it in here like that, and then kind of push the yarns around it to keep it in place. And it'll stay in place even better once it dries. So then we'll take our little eyes. And put some glue on the back of those too. And it's okay if you get some glue on your bird because I know it's white, but it dries clear. So you should be good. So don't worry too much about that. And you could stick them wherever you want on both sides of your bird. You might need more glue. Mine might need more glue. So, and it will take time to dry. So, if it doesn't, we may just need to let it sit for a little bit. So, there you have it. And once you are done with that, we can take these pipe cleaners on the side here, and you can twist them up. So, or you could do it a different way if you want to. You don't even need to really twist it if you don't want to. You could do it you can come up with something different if you want to. But the same thing as before, you sort of pinch it and then twist it, and then go a little bit higher and then twist it. Another thing you could do is just take another method for twisting is just take like this orange one and just bring it around the blue one in circles like this. And that's another way you can twist it. And then this one, I found that easier. So I'm going to take the blue one and just bring it around in circles, around and around and around this, this orange one. And then you can meet them at the top and twist them together here. So usually I'll cross them and then take one of them and sort of twist it under and around. So just take your fingers and push it under and then back up. And then you can kind of smooth it down by pinching it. And there you go, and that will help you hang your bird up. And our next step, our final step is, well, you should have a bunch of little fun things to decorate with. There's some little felt hearts. You could put them on here. You could put them on your bird. You could put them anywhere you like. There's sparkly heart. There's these little teeny hearts. You can decorate it however you want to. And then, and I'm sure it will look beautiful. You are also creative. And the other thing is we have these strings, and we have some little hearts with holes in them. So we're just going to put one heart through each string, like this, and then tie, double knot it, kind of loosely, because we don't want to break the paper. And then you can do the others. And these, I figured that this is a love bird craft, but I thought it it should be about treating ourselves with love. And I think that's something that we don't always think about as much. We always are think about being kind to others, and that's a wonderful thing. But we also deserve to be kind to ourselves just as much. And it's just as important to be kind to yourself as to others. So I hope that this bird will be a reminder of that to you.